So basically, the topic of the discussion today is around strategic alliance in negotiation, and I would rather majorly focus on strategic alliances because negotiation really become the byproduct of it, because these are the intricacy of the entire process, entire any strategic alliances that you do in your career. And I'm presuming that people who are joining this session are two set of people. One who have started their own venture, they are more entrepreneurial in nature, building all this stuff on their own and trying to figure out the sales part of it, which is the core thesis at Juno. And I think incredible job done by Juno so far. I happen to see some of the last video. Amazing gap that you guys are fulfilling. The second set of audience that I feel that who are the professionals who are into sales, have maybe 3-4 year experience around wood, and who also tend to see in their career also that no, can I change my career within sales, can I move up the ladder, go into strategic alliances, what does it require, what kind of do's and don'ts of this space, right? And these are the two audiences which are,
CUNCERN, correct?
somebody speaking.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
so sorry. I'll
no
mute
worries.
them.
No worries. So basically, these are the two set of people I think, which is basically I felt it. This discussion can be broken down into, and some of the rules which I feel that don't really wait for the till the end of session, which I presented all. Then you ask the Q&A. Sometimes you tend to lose the entire question. Raise your hand, or Osama is here. He can help me that if somebody is asking right in the middle of presentation, do ask the question. You will understand the more nuances or more context around this. The second part is make it more participative, because would tend to learn from you guys also, because some of the session which I saw, which are there in Juno School YouTube channel, and I felt that why wish I could have been the other side of the table and really listened it, but this already been into my uh, to listen list, that these are the session I have to list. So let's make it two-way learning. The third is, let's say, make it as more candid as possible. Like say some of the rules, like say switch, mute yourself and then raise the hand or ask a question, so that we can make it useful for others also. So here's the beginning, right? This is how I structure it. A little bit about me, what is strategic alliances, and rather than more theory, I would make it more example centric, so that it can cover wider kind of situations and you can relate to the professional's journey that you are already been. Example, process, some of the moonshot, which is my favorite. How do you negotiate in these kind of alliances, right? Some qualitative, some quantitative negotiations. And then what kind of books, movies, podcasts that you can listen to, which become the a digital Juno, an audio Juno for you on the road, right? In a way, right? And lastly, compress sort of all Q&A, but you can really ask the question while sort of I'm presenting there, right? So a bit about me, guys. I've been two-time founder. Started my venture into financial services. Then I have been 3 times founding member of 3 different organizations. And when I say founding members, I've always been single-digit employee, where you tend to do anything to everything on your own. Really like the founder mindset, sort of employee. And then you try to figure it out that this is the product, this is the hypothesis that we have. How do we launch this product in the market? How do we find the early adopters? How do we find those adopters which can really change the trajectory of the company? Then basically my career moved. I started my career into credit and risk, which evolved into heading the strategic alliances for one of the named organization, capital float. It is called Axion now. It is one of the largest fintech startup into the consumer buy now pay later. I'll give you 2-3 example that basically how strategic alliances came into picture, and it changes the direction for everyone, all the stakeholders. And lastly, right, I have built the strategic alliances across fintechs, banks, e-commerce, right, SaaS, in Kirana ecosystem, right? So going back to the part of, right, why strategic alliances has become one of the most sought after roles, and it is so important because, as the name suggests, it is strategic in nature. It is the kind of more like an experiment kind of thought process, that if I'm running my own venture, who I can partner with, who can I build the joint solution, which are strategically of high importance to me as well as to the other partner. and which can changes the direction for the company in terms of scale, in terms of revenue, in terms of reach, in a very non-linear way, right? Let me give an example. This was 2014, and now I'm sure people would be familiar with Delhi here, right? In Delhi NCR also. So I was, very early member of Capital Float, and our hypothesis was that basically we want to give loans to small businesses online. It was very bold at that point of time, and this was the no problem statement. And then we were wondering, like, can SME come online, fill up their application, give their document and data online, and we can understand their businesses very well. And purely online basis, can we give transfer the money to them for the businesses they sort of gonna sort of run after. And the ecosystem was not ready at that time, and ecosystem was very at a very nascent stage. I remember when I used to hire people in the early days, I used to tell that, hey, you have to work from home. मतलब पहले 15-20 लोग didn't even join at all. They thought that company didn't have money, right? And then they realized that no, obviously we need an office to sort of work from a co-working space. But coming to the problem statement, that basically we realize that no SMEs, not all SMEs are online. We are ahead of time or so. Then we basically discuss internally and figured out that no, let's go after those small businesses or those SMEs who are more tech savvy than the other set of SMEs. And via researching, via speaking to people, we realize that there is a small set of SMEs who are selling online on the platform like say Snapdeal, Paytm, Flipkart, and all bunch of other platform. And this was the time also 2013-14 when e-commerce was really growing, right, across all set of verticals. And then this was the idea that no, what if we reach out to this no e-commerce platform saying that hey, your small businesses are growing 10, 20, 30% month on month basis, and they don't have the money to buy the inventory. What if we can finance them? What will happen because of this? Your seller stickiness on the platform will go up, right? They would be able to sell more. In turn, it will increase your sales. In turn, it will increase the seller sales on your platform, which your GMV. And on the other hand, we would be able to launch our product. We will be able to test our waters. We will be able to give them financing and see the entire cycle, and through data centric approach. And this was the thought germinated. We did the homework, and I started reaching out to all the e-commerce platform. And some were receptive, some were not receptive. Some said that no, we will build in-house, and so and so forth. And I remember, I won't name it, but I remember one of the e-commerce platform in Delhi only, right? They were among the big, and they said that no, great, sort of we can really work together, but we really don't know how to do that. You have to do on your own. And I sat in that e-commerce office for almost a year, right? To understand their sellers, to understand the category manager, to understand the treasury and finance team, to understand the data analytics team, like say what kind of sellers they have, what kind of sales they have, what kind of returns, cancellation they have, what is the payment cycle, and all other stuff, right? And in return, like say basically understanding with them, we were able to build a product which was basically, if you're selling on these platform, on a basis that cash flow, basis that visibility of cash flow, we can give you financing. And this was for the first time in India that product has come out, that hey, if you're selling on those platform, right, you can get the financing from our financing partner. And hence that was the journey for Capital Float also. The reason I'm saying this is an example which has no playbook, which has not been envisaged before, which was not there in the market also. This is an example of strategic alliances. And after that, we reached out to all the e-commerce platform, all the ecosystem players, like a delivery partner, uh, partners who were serving those sellers, and all others, and we became one of the largest in the country, right? So this is an example of strategic alliances where it had a multiple order of impact in terms of your scale, reach, growth, revenue, and then you are able to cross sell, upsell the product with the same partners or so. But it should be win-win for both the partners. Like say, it should not be like say very transactional in nature, in the sense that I deliver you something, you consume it, and the sales cycle is over. No, it's more like fitting all the puzzle together and works like a really an ecosystem driven. The second example is like say, I'm sure people are familiar with Aadhaar and Aadhaar based KYC here, right? So this was 2016-17, right? And again, our hypothesis was that there are a lot of Kirana stores in the country who basically borrow from local money lender or from other lender at a very high rate of interest. Can we finance them? This is the broader problem statement. And then basically we realized that if we have to reach out to these Kirana stores, we have to lend them, we have to do KYCs, which were very expensive in nature. Somebody visiting them, collecting the documents, still going back and forth, finding the right document, right? And spending maybe 500, 700 rupee on a loan, right? And these Kirana store may be borrowing 25,000, 50,000, a lakh rupee. Spending so much money only on KYC will make this entire product unviable. I mean, the solution would be so expensive, which is not different from currently they're borrowing at a very high rate of interest. What we can do to cut down the sort of KYC cost? And we partner with one of the organization which was taking care of the Aadhaar ecosystem, is basically that can you deliver the loan to those Kirana store basis Aadhaar based KYC, and resulting into the KYC cost can be cut down by maybe 1/10, 1/15, 1/20 or so. Because of this, you would be able to build large financial services at scale in the form of sachet to all the neighborhood Kirana store. And then we started researching about, I started speaking to a lot of partners, a lot of players in the Aadhaar ecosystem and all that. And I spent almost 6 months in all the slum area in Delhi. Like say if you're familiar with like say Shadipur, Silampur, Welcome and all those are the areas where you won't get the sunlight at 2 p.m., right? Or so. And largely that's where the density of the Kirana store is very high. They were rich in business in the sense that they were doing so much business, but they were not really getting access to the formal financing or so. So I did a strategic alliances with all the players, some players who were supplying this product to these Kirana stores. We came as a financing partner. Then other players came in who could provide the Aadhaar infrastructure. Basis the data visibility of their business, we could underwrite them, and basis Aadhaar, we could cut down the cost by 1/20th. And after 6-8 months, it was like a magic where the technology made the solution, and a Kirana store can literally do sitting on their shop, swipe the mobile app, do their KYCs and see the acceptance or rejection. If their acceptance of the loans, how much they can borrow, do the KYC via OTP and get the access to financing. It was really magic, right? What had happened after this, it gave us a leap of faith that hey, this can be scaled. This can be, if this has been done, the prototype in this uh, cluster of Kirana stores, this can be scaled to the rest of the country. And then I started reaching out to all the touch points which are there for Kirana store. Like say they were buying from large brands, so reached out to all those brands, right? Can we partner with them? Can we finance to your Kirana store? We were working with all the payments company in who are doing in the QR code, point of sale machines, and all this, because that's where they were doing the business. Then we were doing all the B2B trades companies who were supplying to those Kirana stores. So this was another example which was not there in the typical sales book, which is not there in the nature. These are really long-term projects. The feedback loops are longer, but uh, the curiosity becomes a really differentiating part here. If you can do this, again, second, third order impacts are extremely high, right? Chances of serendipity or the luck creation formation is very high in those spaces if you understand the problem. And this role is very entrepreneurial in nature. I mean, I don't say like say this is the other part of sales, and I consider sales as a part of very entrepreneurial nature, but I'm saying that strategic alliances become more similar entrepreneurial in nature, but in a very different context, different nuance, right? Ki, can I do something which is long term in nature? My defensibility of business goes up, and I really partner with someone who can leapfrog my business to what I am today. The third example is this point of sale financing. And I was sitting with a CFO 3 months or so. In less than 3 months or so, we went live the solution across all the point of sale financing, which essentially meant that you walk in the store, you buy any packages, anything from that store, and literally on mobile app, there is some details you have to fill it up, and you're done. You got the financing in less than 20 seconds or so. And again, this was an aha moment. Again, from the angle that there is no playbook for sales here, that you are really, really going after a certain player, but serendipity kicked in, and then you unlock the large business potential. And when I look back, right, this solution which we entered into had become the one of the largest revenue generator for the company, right? In less than 6 months or so, we were available across more than 10,000 stores and online also. So, I mean, it is too much about my journey. I can go on, but these are the example, because I really want to make the discussion more example led, less theory led. Is that there are some facets of this journey which can touch across your professional career or your startup journey, right? Where you can think out of the box, can explore those solutions which can just change the trajectory of the company. So let me move to the next part of it. These are some of the example, right, which I picked from the newspaper. Like, say, can you read that the Flipkart, Snapdeal, Amazon, others tied up with NBFC to provide seller easy loans. This is nothing but us, right? When we build. Or recent example, like say India Post partner with ShipRocket, or EdTech startup Scaler tied up with National Skill Development Council, because NSDC has lakhs of customer. They can equip them with the tech skills, but now Scaler has Scaler Academy. Then let's say Cube Health, which is a health tech startup, is launching a health wallet and health card in partnership with Falcom, which is another fintech startup. I mean, these are the example of strategic partnership where uh, all cog in the wheel fit in, all the puzzle fit in, and then you scale it up. Or like say DBS Bank is partnering with GoFrugal to power SMEs, or Mastercard is launching Signsy solution globally, or Savin is basically doing the partnership on the uh, for the healthcare financing. Over the period of time, that basically the strategic alliances role, right, have evolved, and this is not the usual sales role. If I have to tell you, in the current form, this role is very closer to B2B sales. This role is very closer to partnership kind of role. But there is basically the differentiation that you can create is in a way that this is something, is not a predefined kind of structured role which goes in direction that you have to do this, and then you would be the best strategic alliances guy. No, it goes in a level that what problem statement that we are solving, who are the potential partners, potential ecosystem enabler that I can partner with, and in a very non-linear way I can grow, right? मतलब ये थोड़ा सा मैंने डेफिनेशन आपको बहुत स्ट्रक्चर वे में बोल दिया. अगर मैं आपको बहुत ही सिंपल वे में बोलूं कि अगर आज आप कोई प्रोडक्ट इमेजिन की यू आर इनटू ट्रेडिंग ऑफ प्लास्टिक, राइट? तो कुछ मैं ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म के साथ टाई अप कर सकता हूँ विच कैन इंक्रीज माय प्लास्टिक सेल्स, राइट? या वो कुछ ऐसा प्रोडक्ट बेच रहे हैं जिसके साथ प्लास्टिक कैन बिकम वेरी हैंडी एंड वी कैन जॉइंटली टारगेट द मार्केट. Or for a sales professional, imagine you are selling some HR SaaS solution. Imagine कि आप कोई payroll का कोई solution बेच रहे हो. आपको पता है कि इस payroll का solution is bought by CFOs, CHROs, talent head or something. They decide कि कौन सी company का हमें payroll solution देना है. You also realize that the same guys also buy maybe attendance management solution, they also buy HRMS solution, they buy interview solution, or other solution focused around employee. Can I go to or reach out to these guys? Hey, you guys don't have the payroll solution, you have HRMS solution, whereas I don't have the other one. Can we guys come together and reach out to the same decision maker who can buy our solution together? Which essentially means that you are unlocking the potential revenue while bundling your product with someone else. This is very closer to B2B sales, but these are some of the example of strategic alliances, right? I try to pen down that how it is a little different from the traditional sales, where the in traditional sales, right, there is always instant gratification. आप गए, आपने product बेचा, customer has signed up, he paid the money, and the sales cycle is over, right? Probably you go to Flipkart, you buy some product got delivered at home, you are satisfied, the sales cycle is short in nature, it is over. Or you may basically visit to any Godrej plant and try to pitch your machinery tools, and they took almost 3 months, figured it out. They took the product, had the PO invoice, and product got delivered, and sales cycle is over. Wherein strategic alliances, right, as I told through some of the example of e-commerce seller financing, Aadhaar-based lending, one of the key differentiated feedback loops are really, really long. I mean, it is not something that you can close it in 1 or 2 months. The feedback loops, I mean, what I meant to say that whether you have done it the right alliances or not, you get to know maybe 6, 8, 12 months, 18 months later or so, right? So you really, really need to have your craft right and be open to those cues which give you cues that, hey, you are heading into the right direction. The second part is it is absolutely relationship driven, very long term in nature. Think of this way, there is a global trade company and they say that now we want to procure textile, say from India based manufacturer, and you are one of the manufacturer, and you reach out to them that, hey, you are looking for that textile manufacturer, this is my solution, no, you can explore some of my product also. And they say no, we are not happy, or the pricing doesn't fit or so, right? But once you already build the relationship, right, you realize that, okay, what are the other problems that you're encountering? And he said that, hey Ankur, although we couldn't proceed with the product of yours, but no, these are the top 10 manufacturer that we identified for sourcing our raw material. What do you think about them? Right? So you tend to give very, very, not the colored one, but very generous, very honest opinion that, hey, I think you should sort of say maybe do import, say from areas which are closer to the port. You can explore this freight partner, you can explore this custom house agent and all that. And instantly you unlocked a very positive or affirmative mindset in the mindset of your prospective customer, not for now, but 6 months, year later. And the guy might come back that, although we couldn't sort of source it from last time to you, do you think that no, you can give me this kind of material, which obviously not with you, right? But essentially you can source it from someone else. And the guy would come in, can you do one step ahead, can you work with all our partner in India, we are not in India, can you work with all the textile manufacturing in India on behalf of us? And boom, suddenly you realize that, oh, this is in very different direction, but very closer to what I'm currently doing. This not only help in targeting, in revamping my own business, but also unlocking the potential. So you always tend to go in strategic alliances in only helping kind of more. Is more like, I jokingly say that, can you build help as a service, right? Not as SaaS as a service, but help as a service also. And then you realize that good karma points come back. People remember that, right? The fourth point is strategic alliance is more like a puzzle, as I explained in the start of the conversation. It's more like a puzzle. It is not like give and take relationship. कि मैं ये value proposition लेके आता हूँ, आप ये value proposition लेके आओ, we come together and we can really, really make a powerful product, powerful offering, powerful distribution, right? Goes without saying, network is an asset, right? One of the interesting thing is the choices go up for the customer. Let me give another example. Say for example, I'm a financing partner, and today you go on to Amazon, right? That no, you want to buy some phone, you selected, say this is OnePlus phone I want to buy. You reach to the checkout page, and then there are payment option. You make the payment through credit card, debit card, and then basically the product gets delivered. But I reach out to Amazon saying that, hey, not everyone has the money to buy upfront. Not everyone has the credit card, debit card. What if I give the financing to your customer on the checkout page, right? What will happen? They can buy an expensive mobile. They can buy not only mobile, something else also. No, they can structure their EMI in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months or so, right? So what happens that these are the choices go up for the customer, end customer. So it essentially become B2B2C kind of strategic alliances, right? Or imagine you are a small business who wants to buy from other small business, say on one of the platform in the country of business also, right? A business is buying from other business, and you sort of figure out your product, and then I say that, hey, I can give you credit, which anyway you're getting from your distributor in the offline market, right? So what happens that because the credit is available, off business can go in the market that, hey, the credit is available through our partner, right? You can unlock the choices for the customer, that the guy would say, the buyer would say that if I'm not getting the credit in offline market, I'll go to off business. They are really, really nice, their pricing is right, and there is an option of credit also. This becomes the nature of B2B kind of strategic partnership, right? It just increase the choices for the customer, hence the adoption also. The other interesting point is the second and third order impacts are significantly higher, right? Since the customer's been acquired via Amazon, he has bought the phone from you, and you have done the financing, he has repaid you all the EMIs. Now the same customer can be offered other product, which is personal loan, emergency loan, medical emergency loan, and so on and so forth. So in strategic alliances, it really, really matters. The benefits are not just tangible on what I am earning through this transaction. The second order, third order impacts are so significant, it can even be higher than your first order effect of the value proposition that you're thinking of. So whenever as a professional also, when you think, or as a founder, when you think that what are the choices I can make which over a long period of time can increase the defensive to my business, at the same time unlock the revenue which I am not seeing yet also. And I said, sales is also entrepreneurial nature, but uh, in strategic alliances, you need to really, really see all the cog in the wheel. You work with the team, like say back end, front end, data ops team. Then you work with the market research team. Then you work with the your sales folks, marketing folks. This is the campaign, and then you all go in one like a pod structure, then execute it, which is none less than running your own venture, seeing all the systems, right? So this is a bit about the difference between two larger role. I would still say this is a byproduct, but this has evolved. Like say you would see that HBO Game of Thrones is available on Disney Hotstar. That's a strategic alliances, right? Indian BCCI has a strategic tie-up or whatever. Like say on Hotstar, the cricket matches going live. These are the nature of strategic partnership, right? So, I mean, this is what were the difference. And broadly, I will not spend much time on this, right? The process of alliance and just keeping a check on the time also. Like say, whatever the product service that you have, you look at who are your potential partner. You look at what are the gaps they have, which I can fulfill. What kind of target audience they have in mind. Do I have the similar one? If we both enter into alliance, what the other partner will do, what I will do, and how we will serve the larger audience, what kind of terms we have to negotiate, both quantitative, qualitative, like say what are the revenue share model, who owns the customers, who can cross sell, who has the data, and so and so much. And then largely look at that. Many of the time in strategic alliances you will realize that you can cross sell, upsell, can deepen the partnership, and it had gone deepen to a level where you can't even imagine. Like say you're working with a partner from the last 2 year, 3 year, and the partner really, really liked you in terms of deliverance, your process, your follow-ups, your commitment to the customer. And the partners with their, hey Ankur, why don't we acquire you guys? Why don't you become part of our? We already have the relationship. And if you go in the market and talk to people, this is not a fictitious example, this is a real example. This way the deal happens, right? So this is a broader level in process of alliance, right? uh, I just wanted to give one more very, very deep example, but I will now cut it short in a very summarized way, just to tell that how sort of how does the strategic alliances look like, and what are the way you can build those alliances. uh, Imagine you are running a product which helps you to do the expense management, right? You give car to your employee, they do travel, they eat somewhere, then they file up the take the picture of those bills, submit to it, and then you do the reimbursement, and so on and so forth. Imagine you build a tech product of this, that I can do end to end your expense management. Now as a founder or as a professional, sales professional also, you would look at who are the guys who understand this pain point and decision maker, and where I can partner, I can make a large impact. And this example is very closer to B2B sales, as I said. So you would understand that there is a CFO, there is a head of sales, there is a finance controller, there is CHRO, and there is a founder himself or herself also, right? And you will like, what are their pain point? A CFO would say, I really get tired of reconciliation. There are leakages. I'm not able to control all the expenses. We have to put all those expenses into Tally or other accounting platform. Then some of the sort of expenses really exceeded the budget. Then my team sits across the world. How do I do the reimbursement from them? Then the head of sales would say that, no, hey, how do I pay to my channel partner? How do I pay to fleet management? How to pay to my marketing partner? How do I pay to my feet on street team? Then CHRO has its own pain point, finance controller, and the founder would also say that, hey, I don't have the visibility that ये पूरी कंपनी का ट्रैवल पे कितना खर्चा हो रहा है, ये पूरी ट्रैवल कंपनी का मील्स पे, बाकी चीजों पे कितना खर्चा हो रहा है. I don't have the visibility, and I have to chase people within the company that give me budgets, how I are exceeding the budgets, and what are these random approval coming on my email that please approve this hotel ka budget and all that. As a sales professional, as a founder, you realize these are all the sort of communicator within the company, who can be influencer, who can be champion, who can be the user, or who can be the decision maker for you. Very similar to B2B sales. As a strategic alliances guy, I would think that, no, who is the top decision maker among this? I would say maybe the founder is the guy who can make the decision for me, right? Whether to buy this product or not. But the actual user of this product could be CFO or finance controller. But the guy who's going to communicate and deliver the product within the company could be CHR or head of sales, right? So as a strategic alliances guy, I would say that, no, hey, let me bring in another product, reach out to founder and say that, no, these are the pain points I would solve. And he would say, they talk to my CHR or talk to my CFO. And CFO would say, no, this is very expensive. We can run on Excel sheet. Why do we need your solution? We are fine. We have built in-house system. There is no need for that. Then you realize, no, you go to head of sales and go to head of sales that, don't tell them reconciliation problem, but tell head of sales, यार आपके 500 लोग हैं जो इतनी टेरिटरी में काम कर रहे हैं, आपको उनको इंसेंटिव देना पड़ता है. दिवाली के एंड पे यू हैव टू चेंज द इंसेंटिव, मंथ एंड पे, ईयर एंड पे, फिर दोबारा नॉर्मल इंसेंटिव, देन बेसिकली यू गिव booster offer and all that. How do you do that? It's very difficult for you. And you realize, yes, it does make sense. Head of sales guy would say to CFO, and CFO would say no, and he would reach out to founder and say, yes, we need a solution. So not spending much time, but I'm saying, as a person, you tend to realize that what are the potential intros route for you, right? Then you can unlock the next layer, that who are the guys, other non-competing products in the market, who are selling to these 5 persona. A founder, like say, I know the decision maker, I would be saying that, hey, my expense management solution, but this founder is also reached out by maybe uh, talent acquisition company, maybe reached out by a financing company, and I can ask these, can you introduce me to this founder? Can I reach out to head of sales who is buying the marketing solution, and I can say that, can I reach out to head of sales also? So these are the potential route for strategic alliances, where once you understand this, you will understand what is the second circle which touches those key influencer, and then the third level, and then you realize that you have touched all those touch points, and you have the strong communication. A CFO is constantly getting your communication that, hey, why I am getting 4 or 5 intros only for Ankur product? What is something in there I should at least give it a try? And then you realize, oh, this you unlock the huge potential. Imagine Amazon came in India and they said that we have 10,000 employees in the country. Can you issue the card for them? And then you realize that you acquired one customer, it solves your next 3-year revenue problem, right? So this is the one example I wanted to give. Not spending much time, we can discuss more in Q in this. Some of the principle that I follow, right? This is one of my favorite also, right? As I said, you need to be really deep curious guy to really excel in strategic alliances role. Like say, one of the favorite thing is, like say, if you have to teach John, Ankur, Swapnil, Osama, you have to teach maths to Swapnil. You have to understand more about Swapnil than maths itself. What does he like? What does he doesn't like? What time of the day he understands this and all that, right? Same goes for strategic alliances also. If the decision maker is founder, what podcast he comes on, what he likes, what doesn't like, where he sits, where he travels, and all that. And trust me, like say, I in my career, I have done a lot of career defining deals sitting in the airport lounges. I have done a lot of deals, especially waiting in the hotel lobby also. If you read, if you understand, if you listen, you would be knowing that, hey, this guy had the Xiaomi India, this guy had the Amazon India, this guy had Flipkart talent acquisition, this guy the CTO of this company who can be, potentially my customer. So the curiosity is really, really a big competitive edge, especially in strategic alliances, right? I mean, the reason I'm saying this, right, because you would be the person who would be able to connect the dots to the nth level, right? And hence you will realize that, I mean, you ask any founder, they would realize that we really go after investors, and they, what kind of thesis they have, what kind of tweets they do, what kind of, investment they have done, what kind of, content they roll out. And then I go back that, hey, I think you have the thesis, you want to invest this company, probably I'm the best guy, why don't we chat? And then you realize that, hey, this is the power of homework. The second part is your own story, right? I think, which I said, this is something again, my, like say, people desire more statistics, more stories than statistics, right? I mean, they connect, they feel, like say, once this session is over, I mean, you won't even remember if I'll tell you that I have done 1,000 crore of sales in 3 months, and with 80% growth month on month, with 500 people across the country. No, nobody would remember. But something you would definitely remember, which touches your own pain point, is basically, hey, next time I'm in airport, I'll keep an eye on, rather than, scrolling on the phone, like who are the folks around. Can I make a very conscious effort that who are the folks hang around here, are in the cafe, or I will show up those places where the probability of my customer, my partner, is extremely high, right? So I mean, and the story are, all of our story evolve. Like say, when we were early in the career, when we were applying for the job, तो हम एक छोटा सा 3-4 लाइनें लिख देते थे कि सर मैं स्कूल से पास आउट हुआ, then give me the job. Now you have certain experiences, you're like that, hey, I have done this, these are the pain points I've gone through, this is the brief version of me, and this is the larger version of summary of story. Then you put it in the resume also. And then you realize that, oh, my story can be flipped depending on the person who I'm speaking with, right? And over the period of time, like say, you realize that, no, like say, first 5-7 year of your career you've been told what to do. Then the next 5-7 year of career, you have a team, and they realize that you are telling the other person, hey, what to do. But after really say 10-12 year of experience, you will be paid not for what you know, you'll be paid for who you know. And that's the strength of your story, plus the network comes in, right? And like say, for example, in this call only, I'm not sure, like say, where people are from different geography, but people will say that, hey, Ankur, no, we are in Delhi NCR, we are in this, can we catch up also, and be persistent about follow up. Like say, India is a follow up country, be shamelessly following, don't self reject, right? But essentially, you'll say that, hey, this is my story, this is the pain point I'm going through, in a very, very lucid way. Can we sort of catch up for 5-10 minutes? Can we get on a call? Can we, exchange the text over email? And then you will keep a trajectory of me where I'm going 5 years down the line. Then you'll say that, hey, Ankur, Swapnil this side, I spoke to you 5 years ago in this session, now you're part of this organization. Can we, sort of talk to each other and see what my product can do for your organization, right? And this is essentially the traits of a good strategic alliances guy also, that he can really, really come across, I mean, your own story, and he or she has the potential to unlock your story also. Like say, if I'm talking with Osama, I have to be deeply, deeply interested in who Osama is, understanding it. If I'm not a good storyteller, but can I evoke the good story? And if I can get the good story evoked, which essentially means that I can have the right question in my frame, which I essentially ask to myself also. The third is increasing the luck surface area, right? It is a formula I copied from somewhere else, which is my favorite. You show up regularly, like say, for this Zoom call or any other, I try to be like say 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before, and see what kind of people are in any other meeting. But you show up every day, knock on enough doors. I mean, show up, multiply by, knock on enough doors, and multiply by for really long time. And trust me, like say, it may sound very, very intangible, but this is actually very, very tangible in nature. Very, very tangible in nature. It just changes your direction completely. I mean, I felt it personally. I mean, I just tell my people, my peer group, but this has worked out so, so well that it's a formula that, hey, I have to get up every day. I have to, like say the sales guy, I have to do those calls. I have to knock in doors, and then I do it maybe for 6, 8 months, a year or so, which is more strategic analysis. Then the next is ownership mindset. Obviously, if I am the person who's saying to maybe Paytm or say that, hey, I will take care of everything, you have to have that ownership mindset. Whether you are a founder, whether an employee, irrespective of the things, the ownership mindset is a rare breed. Like say some owners will come in that, hey, my team would do it. No, that's not an ownership mindset. Or I am an employee. No, I will delegate to my team. No, I will take this honors. You tell me what is the problem. If I don't get you the solution, I'll probably get you the right answer that where my team is stuck. And it does not take much of the time. Like say you are talking to you say example, you are a food manufacturer, but you want to tie up with Indigo, and you are obviously hustling around. It took almost 12 months to crack it, and then you got the pilot in one of the flight. Hey, you can we can get your food in this flight also for as a pilot. You like that, you will go back that, hey, how was the taste, how was the service, how hot or cold it was, and so forth. And then the other party would like that, boss, these are the things I never asked in the negotiation on the contract, right? Go with the full mindset that, hey, if you don't like the product, this is free, whatever it is. I mean, whatever it takes you to sort of crack the deal. But at the same time, people realize that this Indigo procurement head would realize that, hey, Ankur, you delivered the product food to me. Do you supply other stuff also, other packaging material also, and so forth, right? Or he would be saying that, can I get a vendor like Ankur for my all other vendors? That's an ownership mindset. Then these are the journal willingness to fail and listening, right? You need to have very, very hard skin, right? Thick skin rather, right? That basically your willingness to fail should be very, very high, right? This guy saying no, this guy saying no, very politely accepting the rejections also, that no worries, next time we'll do it. And then you will be able to connect the dot that, hey, Ankur, we couldn't use the product, but I see some common connection with you. Can you introduce me with this guy, right? Can you put a referral? Can you put this? And there are those verbal, non-verbal cues also, right? Listening goes without saying that, no, this is one of the, I mean, most powerful tool. Like say I was reading somewhere that, in my life, the author was saying that in all my life, I never felt at a very disadvantaged position just because I was listening. That situation never came in. That because of listening, no, I was at loss, or I felt in a very disadvantageous position, because you unlock lot of stuff while speaking. Because in strategic alliances, you would be speaking to the CXOs, right? To top notch people, and they would say that, no, hey, Ankur, this time in our annual meeting we decided that we'll cut down our cloud cost, we'll cut down our hiring cost, or we will cut down our miscellaneous expenses, right? And I, as an entrepreneur, would realize that, hey, I don't have the cloud cost cutting solution. I will partner with someone, that's a revenue share, and I will say that, hey, you can use both the solutions, right? Or this year, our thesis is that we will digitalize the entire process, no manual approval and all that. These are the cues which you get it while talking to those people in a very informal manner. And I mean, have that in mindset that, can you reach out to people, even have strike the conversation in a very no agenda discussions. Like say in today's call, I really didn't want to have any presentation, rather have document, or I'm really happy without any document. So really no agenda meeting. And then you realize that, no, so much value that you unlock, so much story that you remember from that person, which can be for you, for your friend, for a founder's friend, can be help, right? I think it's already close to an hour or so, but there is short slide. This is one of my another favorite slide. What are the moonshots, right? And moonshots are essentially strategic alliances. Ki what I'm doing in this week, month, or year, again, which can change my career, my basically startups revenue growth metrics. Like say, one is ecosystem, partner with all the companies who are touching your customers, which I explained multiple times. Evangelize each other product. Like say my friend is building HR solution, my friend is building fintech solution, I am building a logistic solution. Evangelize to your circle and all that, and they pay you back. These are the non-linear way to build some of the large strategic partnership. Connect all touch points, which I was giving an example. Then second is structured effort. Like say genuinely blocking your calendar for 2-3 hours in a week is not a very high ask. कि अगर आप एक स्मॉल बिजनेस रन कर रहे हो चावड़ी बाजार में या सदर बाजार में या भिवाड़ी में और वट एवर इट इज, आप भी एक कैलेंडर ब्लॉक कर सकते हो कि बॉस मुझे ना इन कस्टमर को रीच आउट करना है, तो एक ड्राफ्ट एन ईमेल, यू मेक इट योरसेल्फ रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर इट, अकाउंटेबल फॉर इट, कि अगर मैं इफ आई डोंट आस्क द आंसर इज ऑलवेज नो, विच इज अ वेरी फेमस थिंग, राइट? मुझे ये एफर्ट बनाना है, करना है, फॉर विच आई एम रिस्पॉन्सिबल, आई एज ए फाउंडर रिस्पॉन्सिबल, आई एज ए owner is responsible, or I as an employee also. Like say if I am doing the B2B sales for maybe accounting and financing solution, right? Can I reach out to, I mean, though it's not in my territory, I am selling to each customers, but this is the pain point. हर रोज मैं गड्ढा खोदता हूँ, हर रोज बढ़ता हूँ. No, this is not the smarter way. Can I reach out to the guy who can potentially maybe 1,000 solution in one go, and this guy will not come in one meeting. I have to build a pipeline, and in sales, in strategic analysis, it's all a function of building a pipeline. I'm sure you've been through must other sessions also, and they were saying the similar stuff, right? But what I felt it कि कैलेंडर में ब्लॉक करके रखो ये 2-3 घंटे. I will only and only work on very very high potential project. Hence these are called moonshots also, right? These are not, you're doing incremental sales. Bundle your offering. Then basically some of the hacks, right? I think let me give an example. Imagine आप कोई अकाउंटिंग सोल्यूशन बेच रहे हो, और इमेजिन कि आप कोई एचआर का, या फिर बेसिकली यू आर सेलिंग सम सॉल्यूशन व्हिच इज सेंटर्ड अराउंड process automation also. And there are companies who are doing the job posting around ki we need a process automation guy, we need a accounting and finance solution guy, we need a HR solution guy, or we need an operation guy also. And there is a web scraper which can churn out from on the entire web and see all the job posting where they need that HR guy or finance guy which you are building, and reach out to those guys. This is very very scalable and very non-linear way. But hey, reach out to the guy. Hey, I think you are looking to hire this guy. What if I give you a solution? You don't need a guy at all, because the iron is hot there. They're already doing job posting. They already have the pain point which they are going through, right? Especially in the enterprise sales, this has worked. Second, I said read, listen as much as possible. You'll tend to find the cues where your potential buyer hang out, where potential partner hang out, what do they eat, whatever it is. Third is the best strategy is buy the ticket and fly, right? Wherever your customer exists, where your potential customer exists. Imagine कि मुझे कोई solution बेचना है banks को, या I have to do some strategic partnership with banks, and all the banks senior folks, CTOs of the banks are coming in Mumbai. I won't even hesitate to buy the ticket, look at all the speakers, all the attendants uh, in the conference, reach out to them, send them message personally, hey, I am coming there, would it possible to meet you at the conference for 5 minutes or so, which is very similar to enterprise sales. But these are some of the hacks which have worked personally for me, right? Then basically coming on the negotiation part, I have taken so much time on the basically other part, but negotiation, as I said, is a byproduct of it. I will not spend much of time, but you can ask in the QA. Some are quantitative negotiation and some are qualitative. Like say in quantitative, you are negotiating a potential deal with one of the large partner. Imagine when Uber entered in India, they were looking at payment solution. And when Paytm also was growing up, and they said that, hey, our wallet can be integrated with you, and both grew dramatically multifold. Imagine in that room, how did they negotiate the pricing, the commission, the amount that Uber had to shell out to Paytm, and vice versa, whatever it is, right? So those are the critical negotiation part of it. There is a book and there is a TED talk also, Never Split the Difference. I'll share it later, but that's a very amazing one. But in my experience in quantitative negotiation, look at the likely P&L or profit and loss post the deal. What your probable profit and loss look like if the deal materialize, and everybody can do that exercise, that if I acquire 1,000 customer, 5,000 customer, a lakh customer, a million customer, for what I am getting, what are my resources, expenses, have those homework beforehand. What are the potential cross sell and upsell I can do? Like say, which I was giving example, that if I acquire the customer via giving financing on the checkout of, like say, Flipkart, can I give other loans to that same customer, right? So this is my potential revenue opportunity. Third is, what is exclusivity? Okay, he will not partner with anyone else for the next 5 years, and this defines my tenor of the deal loans. These are the very quantitative negotiation. I'm not just telling that how to do that. I think kaise you have to get the verbal, non-verbal cues, body language, negotiate. I think this can be very separate session. But I'm telling you, especially in the strategic alliances side, right, what has worked, right, where you have already done so much homework, right? Let's say one of the favorite example कि आप किसी garment की shop में जाते हो, you buy jeans, pant, whatever it is, और वो काफी सारी shirts खोल देता है, and it's been already half an hour, and the guy would say, "आप कुछ भी buy करो, I'll give you 20% discount, 30% discount," because he realized that no, I already spent so much time. If this guy goes out empty hand, it's a sunk cost for me. I'm not generating any revenue, right? So you realize that, hey, take the discount, and at least you take out some from this shop. Same goes for, basically B2B deals. Same goes for strategic alliances also. I mean, because at the end of the day, humans are same, whether those working in the corporate boardroom and the shops also. Qualitative negotiation are basically get your own branding. Like say, for example, there's one powerful historical, like Intel Insight. Like say, Intel chips are there in the laptop, and they say that, hey, our name should come out. If you're running XYG venture, you are saying this solution is powered by this, so that people understand, customer understand where it is coming from. Try to sense that, no, if you acquire, like say, if you strike a deal, say with delivery express bees, ecom express, can you acquire with the name of those partnership other customers also? Those are the qualitative, things you can have. And lastly, right, is the part that if you are an early stage startup, you realize that you have built some solution, and I am partnering with SDFC bank. Suddenly there is a huge noise in the market, and people feel the credibility that, hey, we should partner with this guy because SDFC must have done all the due diligence while partnering with them. So it just elevate your whole organization, right? So these are on the negotiation part, right? And I will leave it everyone with a very tiny tale, right? And it's a very famous tale from Charlie Munger, that a teacher asked a class that there are 10 ships in a pen. Pen is basically one, the surrounding where they keep all the ships. One jump out of the no pen, how many are left? All the students said 9. And the teacher said that, another one teacher said none of them is left. Teacher said that you don't understand arithmetic. And the student said, no, you don't understand sheep. They go in the same direction, right? So that's becomes very, very powerful ones when you are doing the B2B strategic alliances also, that if you are able to crack very large partner, all other partners will come to you. These are the second, third order impact. They move in the same direction, right? So this is all. These are the books, podcast, movies, right? I can share the deck with you later on, right? Which you can go through. I mean, there was paucity of space. I read a lot, listen a lot, so I bunch of more stuff you can read and listen. And Q&A, something, if any question you have now, later on, basically you can shoot an email to me, right? But just not to make it a monologue, right? Or so. Tell me how did you like it, and how was it? Did you like it or not? Feedback for me. What is something I missed out, which you can teach me, because you are actually more knowledgeable than me, having gone through so many wonderful sessions, right? And goes without saying, this is in my listening list also. Thank you, guys. Osama, over to you.
Well, thank you so much, for sharing, the insight. And it was actually very enlightening. And my key takeaway would be that it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? That's very important. And then what you shared about active listening and how you never fail as a speaker when you listen. So thank you so much. It was very enlightening for all of us, I'm sure. And especially for the entrepreneurs who are starting up, right? Learning from success stories There's no substitute for experience. So thank you so much for taking out time. And yes, if we do have any question, I would request the participants to raise your hand, and then I can unmute them, and they can ask the question. And before we do that, like Ankur said, it's about who you know. So we have this certification on LinkedIn as well, where you can all click on the link. The link is there, and you can actually showcase everyone that you were in fact a part of this wonderful session, right? Will give you that credibility. So anyone has any other questions, please ask. You can raise your hand or put it on chat box.
I mean, no presentation can justice that. I answered all the question in the presentation, right? I sincerely feel that, guys, questions are never stupid. Probably answers are, right? So never hesitate to ask. And I think from the team you will get to know the email also, if you can shoot later.
Right.
But
So
it will be great if you can ask now, because it will serve the larger purpose for other people also.
Right. Anyone? Yes, Swapnil. I've unmuted you, Swapnil. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Ankur sir. Good afternoon, Osama sir. So my question is, if you are doing a startup and you're funding, presently you're bootstrapping it. So from this lessons which we have learned about strategic alliances we are building, how it will help you to get funds or build a network which will eventually help you grow your startup?
Very interesting question. And I think I will touch upon the light of funding part of us also. Basically, and I give you the context more on the, if you're building a venture, say in the B2B space, right? In B2B space, like say what essentially in the journey of the fundraise also, you conceptualize something, you build, you reach out to the customer, take their feedback, what is the pain point they go through, can I build on the top of that? Then you build a minimum viable product, which is MVP, it's been called. And then you reach out to those customers that, hey, can you take this solutions or so? And then you scale it up, right? But in all this journey, obviously you require capital so that you can hire people, can do this and all that. But very quickly you realize that no, to get to the mindset of the people who can fund me, they would simply come back, they, hey, show me some traction. In the B2B side of it, which I know very specific, your logo, the brand logo on your presentation that you're already working with has immense right potential. Not only just raising the fund, but also how much you raise, at what valuation, how many sort of people you can attract is huge, especially in the B2B side if you're building. Let me give an example. Imagine you are building a solution for brand like say Havels, Hindware, Kajaria, and all that, telling them that you have a lot of feet on street people, right? You don't know where these people go, what are their attendance, what are their today's call, what are the feedback of the customer, they're reaching out to every neighborhood store to place their product. What I will give in mobile app which keep a track on it, give a entire analytics on the top of that. Hey, Swapnil has visited 13 kilometer, 20 stores, took the pictures, upload it, and give you analytics also, right? Now this is the solution, this is MVP version of, you'll build it, right? You'll lie that, hey, Kajaria said, let's run the POC, right? And it immediately goes back to your deck, right? Most of the investor would say that, hey, this guy build it and crack the B2B customers. And I'll tell you very funny thing, don't quote me anywhere, but I'll tell you, raising fund is very close to enterprise sales, is very close to strategic alliances. The people who are raising from are very of that bent of mind, right? So I would turn the other way around, that no, people who are really good at, I mean, because you are building your own venture, koi fund kare na kare, it should not impact, because you're already in that mission, right? So the priority for the business is basically crack the customers, right? Agar aapne Kajaria tiles ko, Havels ko, Hindware ko sort of you cracked it, you would say that no, basically I know the nuances of like what they ask for, what they sell, and hence it will craft your own story in front of VCs also, right? So I would say the other way around. And everyone, right, when you are especially in the B2B side, in your presentation, who are working with, who are a potential customer, who are speaking with, or who can become 6 to 12 months, which is your go to market strategy or so, is nothing but those strategic alliances which are 10x more powerful than you simply just an idea or MVP and just go and raise the fund, and especially in today's time, right? Where a little bit of interest also. But I'm saying that in B2B, I wholeheartedly say that you have massive whiteboard in front of you. Rather go raise the fund rate, go the other way around, where you crack some partner, irrespective of the size of the partnership, not even a partnership, irrespective of the size of POC कि आपको हेवल्स बोल रहा है कि मैं आपको गुड़गांव में इस सेक्टर में इन 5 स्टोर पे 3 लोगों के लिए FOS के लिए मैं आपको सोल्यूशन देने के लिए करता हूँ, next 3 months will do, because this second third order impact which we don't realize, which we can also not quantify as a basically limitation of human being also, that basically because of Havels, no Hindware will come in, Kajaria will come in, and then you will be able to craft your pricing. You would realize that कि यार मैंने जो Havels को बेचा, it was underpriced or overpriced, let me craft it, and all the building blocks for your business, who are your customers, how much you're gonna charge, what are revenue gonna make, are nothing but ingredients or inputs for raising fund only, right? And hence that which I say, raising fund is very close to enterprise sales or strategic partnership. If you're good at those, fundraise is easy. Hope I answered the question.
Thank you. And we have Anuj. Anuj, I'll unmute you. Please ask the question.
Hello.
Hi Anuj.
Yes, Anuj, please go ahead.
Sir, I think आपने वीडियो कॉल है.
Anuj, I don't think we are able to hear you. If you can just type the question on chat, please. I'll read it for Ankur. In the meanwhile, Vijay can ask.
आपको आवाज आ रही है मेरी? Hello.
Yeah, can
Hello.
hear you. Can hear you. Please say.
Yeah, sir. How are you?
All well, Anuj. Tell me.
सर मेरे दो क्वेश्चंस हैं.
बोलो.
एक तो फाइनेंस से रिलेटेड है, दूसरा सेल्स से रिलेटेड है. मैं मैन्युफैक्चरर हूँ प्लास्टिक प्रोडक्ट्स का, प्लास्टिक जार मोल्डिंग, बेसिकली मोल्डिंग बोलते हैं हम फूड ग्रेड पैकेजिंग जार्स बनाते हैं. तो मेरे पास 2 अपॉर्चुनिटी हैं. तो मैं मिडिल साइज जो एंटरप्राइजेज हैं उनको टारगेट करूँ, क्योंकि उनके साथ बिजनेस करने में मुझे इन्वेस्टमेंट कम डालनी पड़ेगी फिलहाल, और रेवेन्यू मैक्सिमम ले सकता हूँ. और दूसरी साइड मेरे पास बड़े ब्रांड्स हैं, जैसे हिमालय है, पतंजलि है, मसल ब्लेज है. दे आर गिविंग मी सो मच जो है प्रॉफिट एंड गिव मी ह्यूज ऑर्डर, मतलब एक बार में लाखों डिब्बा चाहिए उनको.
करेक्ट.
ठीक है. तो इस देन मेरे पास क्वालिटी है जो उनको चाहिए मार्केट में, जो रियली इंडिया में 1-2 लोगों के पास ही है, मैं से एक मैं. देन वो बात आती है फिर फाइनेंस पे, क्योंकि मेरा प्लास्टिक प्रोडक्ट है तो मुझे जो है ना रॉ मटेरियल रेगुलर बेसिस पे खरीदना पड़ता है. तो उसमें मेरे पास 3 ऑप्शन है, BL है, ODA या CC लिमिट है. BL मैं कितना ले सकता हूँ? ठीक है, मुझे देने को तैयार है, लेकिन मैं क्या मेरे पास 10 दिन का पेमेंट होता है, कई बार क्या पेमेंट लेट हो रही है, तो मुझे 10 दिन का ही फाइनेंस चाहिए.
करेक्ट.
ठीक है. तो उस बेसिस में मुझे बिजनेस लोन तो ज्यादा मिल रहे हैं, लेकिन OD वगैरह का ऑप्शन मेरे पास थोड़ा कम है फिलहाल. तो मेरे पास ये एक चैलेंज है. तो सर ये 2 क्वेश्चन है मेरे.
करेक्ट. तो अनुज, मतलब मैं ना, मतलब आई कैन, मतलब मैं 10 घंटे बोल सकता हूँ इस वाले सेशन पे, क्योंकि मैंने अपने बाल ना फाइनेंसिंग में उड़ाए हैं, राइट, के करने के लिए. बट आई थिंक आई अंडरस्टूड योर प्रॉब्लम, और बाकी फॉर द अदर ऑडियंसेस आल्सो. अनुज क्वेश्चन रिवॉल्व्स अराउंड कि whether he, first question is whether he should target the mid-size company where he can serve better, or he should target the larger brand also, maybe Himalaya, Godrej, or anyone where he can get the lakhs of order, but there is a challenge on the working capital side. That's the second question. तो पहला क्वेश्चन क्या है कि मतलब अनुज, जो आपका मिड मार्केट को आप सर्व कर पा रहे हो, राइट, उसमें आप बेसिकली इंक्रीमेंटल ग्रो कर रहे हो. आज यू आर डूइंग बिजनेस में भी 10-20 करोड़, कल आप 30-40 करोड़ करोगे. हिमालय पे आपको ऑर्डर्स आ रहे हैं. और स्ट्रेटेजिक अलायंसेस में क्या एंगल से मैं बोलूं, यही पर होता है कि अगर आपके लिए, अगर आपने ये माइंड में बिठा लिया कि आपके लिए कंस्ट्रेंट फाइनेंसिंग है, आई वुड से नो, दैट्स नॉट द कंस्ट्रेंट, राइट? आप यू आर स्पीकिंग विद हिमालय, आप गोदरेज, इन सबसे बात करो। बहुत बार होता है कि आपकी क्वालिटी ऑफ प्रोडक्ट के बेसिस पे, राइट, आजकल बड़े ब्रांड्स क्या करते हैं कि उनको 90 डेज का, 120 डेज का, मे बी 180 डेज का क्रेडिट चाहिए आपसे, अगर आप हिमालय से आप प्रोडक्ट ले खरीद बेच रहे हो, राइट? बट वो ये भी बोल देते हैं, देखो अनुज, हमें आपके प्रोडक्ट अच्छे लगे और हम समझते हैं कि आपके पास फाइनेंसिंग का इशू है, ये हमारे फाइनेंसिंग पार्टनर है, राइट? या आप हमें 4% कम करके दे दो, 3% कम करके दे दो, वी कैन फंड यू, वी कैन रिलीज द पेमेंट ऑन डे 0, राइट? ऐसे भी होते हैं, मतलब मैं, ऐसे रूल नहीं है, बट यही आपको ही फिगर आउट करना पड़ेगा। और यहीं पर जो मैं आपको स्लाइड दिखा रहा था कि सीएफओ है, सीएचआरओ है, हेड ऑफ सेल्स है, और ये सब चीजें हैं, you need to keep on reaching out to those guys कि figure out 1 or 2 partner who can make the payment on day -10। और आप बोलोगे ये कैसे पॉसिबल है? सब पॉसिबल है। अगर आप किसी भी ब्रांड के पास जाओगे, वो जब अपने डीलर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर को सप्लाई करते हैं, वो भी आगे क्रेडिट देते हैं, और उनका भी स्ट्रक्चर ऐसा होता है कि अगर आप एक वीक के अंदर पेमेंट करते हो तो वी विल गिव यू 3% कैश डिस्काउंट, 2% कैश डिस्काउंट। Same goes to supplier, and these guys also have financing partner or they fund from their own treasury. So my answer to it, आप मिड वाले को तो करते ही रहो, बट उसका कोई मतलब ये वैसे ही चलता रहेगा, उससे आपका स्टेटस को चेंज नहीं होगा। जो आप ग्रो कर रहे हो उसी हिसाब से ग्रो होते रहोगे। बट आई विल स्टिल से कि जैसे मैं आपको बोलूंगा, कैलेंडर में 2-3 घंटे लगा के जो इतने भी ब्रांड है, अगर हिमालय में आपको हेड ऑफ सेल्स बोल रहा है कि नहीं, हम आपको फाइनेंसिंग 120 दिन के बाद ही बोलेंगे, तो बोलो उसको कि कैन आई स्पीक टू योर सीएफओ, कैन आई स्पीक टू योर हेड ऑफ फाइनेंस। एंड आप अपना होमवर्क करके जाओ कि अगर आप मुझे आज पेमेंट दे देते हो या मुझे डेट ऑफ डिलीवरी में पेमेंट देते हो, मैं ये प्राइसिंग आपको ऑफर कर पाऊंगा या कुछ भी ऐसा कर पाऊंगा। मतलब देयर आर मेनी इनोवेटिव वे, राइट? फाइनेंसिंग में तो देयर आर मेनी फाइनेंशियल इंजीनियरिंग कैन हैपन। आई मीन वी कैन डिस्कस लेटर। द सेकंड पार्ट इज, जो आपका क्वेश्चन है कि मेरे पास बिजनेस लोन के ऑप्शन तो और हैं, ओडीसीसी के ऑप्शंस कम है। ये थोड़ा स्पेसिफिक फाइनेंस का क्वेश्चन है, बट इसमें क्या होता है कि ओडीसीसी आर वे चीपर देन बिजनेस लोन, एंड ओडीसीसी जनरली बैंक देते हैं, वो जब आपका धंधा हो जाएगा उसके बाद रिवाइज करेंगे, राइट? लेकिन अब आपको जो इंक्रीमेंटल बिजनेस करना है उसके लिए यू विल नॉट गेट द ओडीसीसी लिमिट। तो एज ए एंटरप्रेन्योर यू विल थिंक दैट कि यार मैं बिजनेस लोन पे इतना ज्यादा डिफरेंस रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट दे रहा हूँ, और उससे मैं अपना इतना इंक्रीमेंटल बिजनेस बना लूंगा विच वुड इंक्रीज माय ओडीसीसी लिमिट नेक्स्ट ईयर। तो आप आज का प्रॉफिट फॉरगो करके यू थिंक ईयर डाउन द लाइन कि इवन आई विल गो फॉर एक्सपेंसिव बिजनेस लोन लिमिट, लेट मी गो इट, आई नीड टू ग्रैब दिस बिजनेस फ्रॉम हिमालय अगेन। मतलब you get the Himalaya, you go back to the bank and they will say that, hey, we have given you 20 crore limit, now we can give you 35 crore limit, because their rate of interest is 8.5, 9.5%. Business loan would come around 16, 17, 18%. In fact, जो पैसा रोटेट करना है, ये बिजनेसेस ने ही सिखाया है, बैंक्स और एनबीएफसी कैसे रोटेट करते हैं। जैसे अगर आपको 10 दिन का वो चाहिए, 10 दिन के प्रोडक्ट है। इनफैक्ट अगर आप नेहरू प्लेस में जो वेंडर्स होते हैं, आईटी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का, आईटी दे रोटेट दी मनी फॉर 5 डेज की वो एचपी से डील लेते हैं, 28 को फाइनेंसिंग लेते हैं और 3rd को वापस कर देते हैं। सो दोज प्रोडक्ट एग्जिस्ट। बट मतलब होप आई आंसर क्वेश्चन की डेफिनेट टारगेट द लार्जर वन, फिगर आउट की अगर आप प्राइसिंग या कुछ ऐसे कर सकते हो, and talk to other people within the same company also. If you are so confident about your quality of product, I'm sure you will find the way.
Thank you, Ankur. So we have just 2 more questions. So one is from Vijay Gupta and the other one is from Abhishek Anand. So Vijay, I'll just unmuted you. Could you please ask your question?
Hi Vijay, I can hear you. I can see you.
Yeah.
Hi. Actually, I'm in catering business, so most of the time I face the question like your ticket size is too high. So, is there any possibility to provide the catering service on EMI, and to whom I should contact to create a like win-win condition for customer, me, and bank as well?
Who are you selling to? जो आप catering business, who are you selling to?
Most of the like salaried person.
So
or some of them are businessmen.
Just help me ki if there is salaried person, they buy catering. Can you explain a little bit about the business?
Catering business like birthday catering or wedding catering. So ticket size is around 1 lakh above.
Correct, correct, correct.
So most of the time they ask to reduce the price,
Correct,
or
correct,
they
correct,
face the financial crunches. So
correct, correct.
in this condition, I want to offer the EMI option. So is
Yes.
there any possibility to create a kind of win-win situation to customer, me and bank as well?
Yes. So first of all, मतलब आजकल तो wedding के लिए भी financing available है, catering तो is possible. So largely these kind of niche requirement typically banks does not serve. Banks don't serve those kind of requirement because they have structured product. So इसमें there are many fintech solution provider, right, who basically fund the discretionary spend of the customers. If I am a customer, I want to travel, it's not imposed. Can I get the travel finance? Can I get the wedding finance? Can I get the education finance? There are, if they don't go to bank, there's no point. And go to new age fintech startup. You can just type on Google, you will feel the name, right? There are a bunch of companies who can do those kind of discretionary spend, and then you can realize कि these are the 100 customers. 25 customers ने इसलिए मुझे मना कर दिया because pricing fit नहीं बैठी. 25 ने इसलिए मना कर दिया, उनके फाइनेंसिंग नहीं थे. And 25, they didn't even ask, they just lost. They didn't even tell me the reason. And I could convert only 25 customers, right? You go back and tell कि these are the 100 customers can all come to you on day one, right? I will take care of this. I can tell all the information कि ये किस geography में है. तो yes, absolutely विजय, मतलब आप किसी भी fintech को थोड़ा सा ये समझ के जितना आप अपने business के बारे में जानते हैं, banks को reach out ना करो, but early stage fintech को आप थोड़ा सा करोगे कि wedding finance वाले कौन है, डिस्क्रिशनरी फाइनेंस वाले कौन से हैं, वो इंडिविजुअल्स आपको मिल जाएंगे. सेम गोज फॉर बिजनेस. जो बिजनेस आपसे करते हैं, अगर वो रेगुलर बिजनेस नहीं है तो मुश्किल हो जाता है, बिकॉज व्हेन यू डू B2B फाइनेंसिंग में, देन यू नीड ए रेगुलर कैश फ्लो मूवमेंट. आपसे किसी ने केटरिंग करवाई, लाइक से अगर आपने किसी फर्म नोएडा में किसी कंपनी का टाइप कर लिया कि इनका मंथली लंच वुड बी डन बाय योर कंपनी ओनली, एंड दैट्स फिक्स्ड, राइट? वो हर मंथ आ रहा है, तो दैट cash flow visibility पे the financing can happen. But having said that, reach out. This is absolutely can be solved. Yes, have I answered the question, Vijay? That's fine.
Okay, Vijay, I'll unmute you again. Yes, Vijay. You're unmuted from my end. You can ask.
Hello.
Anji Vijay.
Yeah. You well explain the I mean situation where I can deal with this. So thank you for addressing my issue.
Sure.
Thank you. So we have two more questions, Ankur. I hope I'm not taking up your time a lot.
No. I mean, I am telling people that do shameless strategic alliances, so why not question here?
Right. So we have one from Abhishek and one from Mrityunjay. So first, since Abhishek raised his hand, so I'll let Abhishek ask this one first. Abhishek, you there? Abhishek, I have unmuted you. Okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, Ankur ji.
Hi, Abhishek. कैसे हो?
Yeah. मैं बढ़िया हूँ सर. आप बताइए कैसे हैं?
All well. बताइए.
जी. सर एक्चुअली मैं कंसल्टिंग सेल्स में हूँ और बेसिकली मैं एम्प्लॉय वेलबींग देखता हूँ. सो हम वेलबींग की इंडस्ट्री में है. तो मेरा क्वेश्चन यही है कि राइट मेरा जो टारगेट क्लाइंट है वो है कॉर्पोरेट्स और उनके एम्प्लॉय वेलबींग हम करते हैं. एंड बेसिकली मैं वेस्ट जोन देखता हूँ. सो what kind of strategic partnership I can do, because मैंने कर रखी है, जैसे इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज हो गई, इंश्योरेंस ब्रोकिंग कंपनीज हो गई, उनके थ्रू हम करते हैं. और मेरा सेगमेंट सिर्फ B2B है और कस्टमर भी जो है वो मेरा एम्प्लॉय है, पर डायरेक्टली एम्प्लॉय नहीं है, थ्रू द कॉर्पोरेट.
B2B2C आपका मॉडल, राइट?
राइट सर. तो यहाँ कॉर्पोरेट पे करता है.
करेक्ट.
सो आई जस्ट वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि मतलब मैं कैसे अपना बिजनेस है जो ग्रो कर सकता हूँ, राइट एंड ऑल.
करेक्ट. नो, दैट्स अ वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग प्रॉब्लम. अगर आपने अभिषेक जी देखा होगा कि थ्रू आउट द प्रेजेंटेशन आई वाज गिविंग लॉट ऑफ एग्जांपल अराउंड HR टेक स्पेस आल्सो,
राइट.
तो ये बहुत बड़ी अच्छी प्रॉब्लम है. और अगर यूजुअली क्वेश्चन आता है कि मैं इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज के थ्रू रीच आउट कर पाऊं जो ग्रुप इंश्योरेंस बेच रहे हैं, बट आपने डार्विन बुक्स का नाम सुना है?
जी.
कैका HR सुना होगा?
जी.
राइट. मैं आपको ज्यादा एक्सप्लेन नहीं करूंगा, आप ना वहीं पर एक उनका टैब है पार्टनर्स ऑप्शन का, राइट। और उन पार्टनर्स ऑप्शन में इफ यू सी डार्विन बॉक्स इज एन HRMS कंपनी, राइट, but they have partnered with payroll company, employee well-being, financing company, attendance management, mental health checkup in hospitals, all their partner and their reseller network. Then there are basically recruitment agencies, then talent acquisition companies, all they have mentioned where they are partner. It is such a low hanging fruit for you कि आप जाओ उस categories के, imagine कि there are payroll companies, right? You pick out all the company, maybe top 10, 15 company, right? Build your hypothesis and use both top down and bottom up approach. कि imagine कि आपको financial services में you have to sell well-being solution, right? And imagine कि आपको fintechs में ही बेचना है, right? कि मैंने ये categorize करा, तो you realize कि fintechs में top companies क्या हैं? Paytm, Phone, Google Pay, Bharat Pay, these are the big companies. And these are the top down, and there are bottoms up company basically which in and around payments, but like say which are the emerging company, right? And there are middle layer. तो हमेशा solutions क्या होता है कि अगर आपको strategic alliances करना है, you craft कि भाई ये मुझे इसमें करना है, आप top down जाओ और bottom up भी जाओ. Bottom up जाने क्या क्या होता है कि they are more receptive and you will understand the pain points of that sector very very well, right? Which you can be sounded very smart while you speaking to the top guys, right? That's actually homework. So what I felt it कि वो ecosystem approach है, आप किसी भी large companies के HR देखो, उनको understand करो, and this is where the reading comes in कि अगर if my employee well-being के लिए the decision maker is CHRO, CFO, head of sales, founder or anyone who are their touch points, right? तो उन्होंने पूरा ecosystem कैसे बनाया? This is one approach, right? की करने. सेकेंड अप्रोच इज अगेन जो मूनशॉट प्रोजेक्ट है कि आपका एम्प्लॉय वेलबींग का सोल्यूशन है. इमेजिन देयर आर इंडिया डेवलपमेंट सेंटर, ग्लोबल डेवलपमेंट सेंटर व्हिच आर बीइंग सेट अप बाय से Amazon, Intuit or any large company, right? And you will realize that they are going to set up say in Mumbai, Pune, you said like say western region, and you tend to read the news daily कि they are entering India, they have bought the real estate, they are building the, reach out to them, right? Ahead of the games, like say even like say Facebook occupied 10 lakh square feet area and say Gurgaon, and figure out who are the guys who are doing it and reach out that hey, this is not necessary today, but I have to knock on the doors today itself to get it validated and be live 18 months down the line, right? So those are the things. But I mean your industry, those are the example I would say that basically you can sort of reach out and see that if I can sort of reach out to the similar company which those Darwin Box or KKH are reaching out, you will expand the beyond the insurances as an example. Second part becomes in basically you always look at can you integrate your solution with someone else, right? Which may not be in your hand, right? But you do homework, speak to them, and then you go back to your management. I have done it so many times that hey, these are the needs. Management is sitting in the AC room, they are not able to see. I can come in, hey, these are requirements, we should be able to quickly roll it out, and it worked beautifully. So those are the 2-3 areas, but I'm saying that possibly which obviously from so many experiences, but you look at 2-3 example, you'll get through.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you sir.
Okay, take care.
So one final question from Ritunja. Actually, it's 2 questions. I'll just club them. So first, he says that it has been the best session so far for him. And also he wants to understand 2 things. So first is that how do we network better, apart from LinkedIn and attending conference, what are the other ways on where we can network? So if you can answer them first, and or if you want, I can ask the second one also at the same time. So the second one is, the second question is, how do you convince other company for strategic partnership whose business is already going well without you?
Oh, wow. Second question is very interesting, right? So basically, I call it, how do you manufacture luck? How do you manufacture demand, right? In a way. But let me come back to the first question, right? And the networking part of it, right? I mean, these are the usual, again, you have to think every day that if I'm also going on LinkedIn, if I am also going, these are the usual way where people are also reaching out, right? No, that's not the, this will not make me stand out. Like say people would say, obviously, craft your cold email, cold messages really, really well, right? there are enough software in the market where you can get an email ID of thing. But I'll tell you, like say something which comes back to the listening part of it. If you watch some videos, some YouTube, anybody who want to reach out, like say today, if you want to understand about Osama, you'll type Osama, you'll get something about Osama for sure. Or you want to understand about Tarun of Juno School, you will understand that he sold previous venture, he has been podcast, you listen to them, and then you say you learned something amazing, right? Then you should not hesitate you that just write a message to them, hey, I really like this, right? And will it be possible for you to just double down on this point and elaborate further, right? It has no business relation. It has no context with respect to कि मैं आपको कुछ sell करना चाह रहा हूँ, you want to buy something from you, I'm serving. No. In networking is a serious business. You have to invest, right? I mean, it does not necessarily, which I said, go back to the strategic lenses point, always be helping and seeking out help also, that it has no relation with the current sales also, right? But like say, if you really like this session and somebody has just posted a good session, it just gave me very affirmative, oh wow, this turned out really, really well, that people really able to understand the diverse group. Now I feel that, okay, this is amazing, right? All are human beings, all are sheeps, right? And all are, you have to understand more about John than the maths, right? So the question is, many times, if you are in a professional career also, the way I was telling about business or moonshot, you tend to reach out to people, sending them message for specific thing which you really liked or didn't like, seek their feedback out, which has no relation, and you will realize that most of the busy person are most responsible. If you're smart enough, it's not a Herculean task of finding someone email ID or contact number. So that's the network that figure out your interest. Their self-awareness comes in. They, hey, right, I like this spaces, I like startups, I like building, I like about, like say you read some news and realize that this product interesting, let me reach out. So it's a very singular battle with yourself, right? You have to find. The second question, which I really like that, let me read it. What did you say? What was the question, Osama? Oh, yes, I got it. Like say, how do you convince someone whose business is already going well without it, right? And that's basically the question, right? I mean, ऐसा नहीं है कि technology में we have not evolved. Like say, imagine what your life was before Uber came into picture. It was already going on, right? What your life was before UPI payment ecosystem also, or B2B commerce, e-commerce also, right? Obviously, there could be situation where your product, where you're building, or your services that you're trying to sell, it may not be differentiating, right? But or it may be just at a par with others players, right? So you tend to look at what are the non-quantitative differentiation for you. Let me give an example, especially for B2C companies. I mean, B2A, majorly B2C companies. Imagine you are using or say maybe you are using Nika solution or something, right? In B2C company, you typically go back to the app store and look at what is the 1-star rating saying, what is 2-star, what is 3-star, what is 4-star, 5-star guys saying about this product, about this service or review system. Then you basically go back, या अगर आपका कोई employee wellness का solution है, which I think Abhishek was asking, तो वहां पर आप जाओ, उस कंपनी के ग्लास डोर पढ़ो, आप देखोगे लगेगा यार इस कंपनी में ये चैलेंज है जो आप डिफरेंशिएट कर सकते हो इन ए वेरी लो हैंगिंग फ्रूट, राइट? आप जाओ उस कंपनी के पास कि देखो ये आपकी चीजें बहुत अच्छी चलती हैं, राइट? आपका ये सॉल्यूशन जो यूज करो, बट देयर आर 1-star 2-star 3-star आल्सो पीपल आर टॉकिंग अबाउट यू. I think this is I can solve it. And trust me, like say we all are human beings, we all have little bit of FOMO. Who's saying negative about me? Who's then putting this adverse media about me? Right? So the point is basically that no one is, there are no obvious way, read about reviews, read about app store. Even after that, if you don't find someone that no for strategic partnership, that no their business is going well without you, I'll still say that build a relationship with them, because what happens, the other person who is using your competitive product, after a point of time, they will feel that, hey, I cannot be just dependent on this guy. I need to have a backup. And for backup, let me talk to Mrityunjay. Right? Oh, I felt it very bad experience. Or I will bring in Mrityunjay to negotiate with my competitor. But I'm saying that from strategic partnership are not very point specific, time specific. अगर इसने वैसे business नहीं लिया, तो this relationship is over. Right? मतलब हर एक जगह ऐसा ही है कि if there is a player number 1, it automatically create the space for player number 2. If there is a Paytm, so there is a PhonePe, MobiKwik, Pine Labs, there are a bunch of Razorpay, other player. If there is Razorpay, there is a Cash Free, then Pluto, then PayU, then other player, or there is HRMS, there is Darwin Box, Keka, and bunch of other companies. The point I'm saying that from strategic alliances, obviously you have thick skin not to feel that no, if this guy said no, I'll feel disappointed. But I think those are the cues which you can build and go back. Hey, what is happening now? We spoke a quarter back, 2 quarters back, or this is the feedback I read. Do you think we can come and sort of do solution for you? At times you have to do free also. So hope I answered this question. I mean, these are very, very contextual, nuance specific. I try to give is very generic, but these are the some of the hacks I also read कि आप प्ले स्टोर पे देखो क्या रिव्यूज हैं, क्या पे endpoints हैं, which I can go back and sort of serve them.
Thank you, Ankur. Can we take 2 more questions? I hope that's all right with you.
No, absolutely.
Thank you. So we'll just take these 2 final questions. So one is from Dr. Upendra. He asked, we are a small IT service company. We are trying to partner with software product companies. So how do we add values to the partner and attract it? So it's about, value generation. And there is one more question from Ishtiaq. He says, sir, I want to ask you that we are just opening a granite, marble and tile shop. So how you can say that we can market our shop with strategic partners? It will help us to have clear idea and way to follow.
Got it. So let's say look at the first question. We're a small IT company. I mean, Dr. Upendra, right? First of all, great, you started the business, and no small business would like to call themselves small. They all want to become big, right? And hence this kind of strategic partnership comes in. Like say there are, I don't know the full context of your service also, but I'll tell you, imagine you are into web development, you are into email marketing, you are digital service solution, or you are an outsourcing solution, which your IT service company has formed, right? Same principle we look at कि what are the alternates of me in the global market, कि बाकी global market में क्या है, and आपको वो data मिल जाएगा या net पे मिल जाएगा, and then corresponding look at what are the counterparts in India, right? And then again there are many platforms, G2 and all that, where you look at these are the product and services by these companies, these are the pricing, these are the reviews about those product and services. You go and pitch. My first point to you, Dr. Upendra, would be that again, simply go block your hours, send those emails out to your big partner, which you think, right? I mean, nobody would get to know on your own, right? If they don't respond in email, you already know what are those software product companies where their CTOs, CEOs go out, right? Not just through LinkedIn, there are many ways. There are trade state associations, there are software group, there are WhatsApp group, Slack group, and all that, where you become part of it. Like say, one of the interesting thing I always felt it, and I did in the early journey of building startups, कि हमारे पास पैसे नहीं होते थे not to sponsor that event, but मैं इतना homework करके जाता था कि I need to ask the question, and a very right intelligent question. So I attract the same amount of attention what a lead sponsor also get the attention, right? So that's, I mean, these are the personality traits, right? But I'm saying that अगर आपके mind में software product company है, तो you can again bottom up approach, top down approach लो, you figure out top 10 companies, top को भी reach out करो, bottom को भी reach out करो, and then so that आपकी offering iterate हो, and then after that basically you can be sort of, because if you do it for a consistently long period of time, which is the how do you create the serendipity and luck, which I was telling you, then compounding kicks in for sure, right? Because in today's time, especially when you do the digital sales, or if you do online sales, if you do email marketing sales, tiredness comes in. Oh, I got tired, I sent 10 emails here, right? No, that shouldn't be there, right? I mean, you get up every day and see that, hey, this message is not working, this channel of communication is not working, probably I'll do the alternate route. But I mean, you can be specific email about the context, then I can add more context, or I would be happy to say that I don't know much about it, but this has worked for me. Like say, it's largely in strategic alliances to everyone, you are more like a T-shaped journalist. You know one or two area very, very well, and then you are journalist horizontal in other area, right? So that's how I always fix it. Like, hey, I know about fintech, about a startup very, very deeply, but I know about others' functional role in horizontal that I could ask sensible question while sitting in a boardroom. Second question, Osama, was there ki we are just opening a granite, marble, and tile shop. So how can we can market our shop with strategic partner? Ishtiyaq ji, sorry, I would say I don't have the much answers. I think I'll float the deck. You can reach out, but जो ये मार्बल टाइल्स का काम है तो काफी सारे B2B प्लेटफॉर्म इंडिया में खुल रहे हैं जो सिर्फ मार्बल और डिजाइन पे और इन पे काम कर रहे हैं. आप न्यूज़ देखिए, जैसे गुड़गांव में कुछ B2B स्टार्टअप्स हैं जो मोरबी वगैरह से सोर्स करते हैं, राइट? तो आप उनको रीच आउट करिए कि वी कैन बिकम योर सप्लायर, बिकॉज वो लोग क्या करते हैं, दे find the buyer in the overseas market and connect the Indian manufacturer, Indian traders, right, in the local market. That is the best way so that you can do it. And I'm sure you will be confident about your product. So things will be very, very good for you.
All right. So I think these are the questions, but thank you so much, Ankur, for taking out time. It was really a pleasure having you. Not only you took out time, you gave a lot of time to answer the question, right? So thank you for coming today. It was greatly insightful and hoping to have this association moving forward as well.
For sure. I think more thank you for you guys to patiently listen and coming up with sort of interesting questions, right? And but this is the very, very quick turnaround sort of project or so. Hope you guys really got the value which you thought of before joining the session. Amazing for me as well.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone. Take care.
Take care. Bye everyone.
Bye.